Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you, and welcome to the online classes organized by Rishiram Shikshan Sansthan, Joshada Uttarkasi. So good. Many of the students they are connected. Okay. So please try to get connected as soon as possible. And today we will do the final part of this lesson. And today uh, is the last part of the lesson on the face of it, which is written by Susan Hill. A very nice story, having a good message for all those who many times cry for their disability. So definitely, this lesson will serve a good purpose to inspire all those uh, who really face certain kind of disability in their life. And definitely, we all must have sympathy for those people who are physically challenged because nobody know what happens tomorrow. So it might be possible then in the near future we may also face such kind of a disaster. We can call it as a disaster. So it would be better that we must be very compassionate. We must have sympathy and love for those people. Okay, in the last video we have seen how this little boy Derry he expressed his desire that he too wanted to own a house like that of Mr. Lamb, having a very fine garden. But at that time he was not clear that what was that thing obtaining which can give him a lot of pleasure. Then Mr. Lamb gave him a mantra of three words, that is, you must wait, watch, and listen. So these are the three mantras which were given by Mr. Lamb so that this little boy can realize what he must do, or he must realize about his goal. Uh, Mr. Lamb. Okay, on page number 66, we will continue. Mr. Lamb, some do, yes, some don't. I ask them, I like to learn. So now this little boy, what he very asked a very serious question from Mr. Lamb, that if you have many friends, if you say that most of the people they visit you throughout the day, so do they ever ask about yourself, or do they try to talk with you? Then again, very smartly, this old man replied that some do and some don't. It depends on their temper, on their mood. So I don't compel anyone to talk with me. So it is up to you whether they like to talk, then I welcome them. And if they don't want to talk, then I do not compel them to be in my company. Derry, I don't believe in them. I I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourselves and miserable, and no one would know if you were alive or dead, and nobody cares. But again, instantly, this little boy, he uh, observed every situation and then replied to Mr. Lem that, no, I don't believe you. Whatever you are saying to me, it is just incredible, because this little boy realized that as he has nearly spent the whole day in the garden of Mr. Lamb, and he was there. So he realized that nobody ever come in this garden. This old man, he was living a very miserable life, isolated life, and nobody comes there to see him. And even if he will die, so nobody cares about him. It means he was living a lonely, isolated life, and whatever he said to this little boy, all were just his heart feelings, his desire. Mr. Lamb, you think what you please. Again, Just see how beautifully he is responding to this little boy. He said, whatever you said to me, it is your own desire, whatever you are thinking, which can please you. So, whatever you said is only to please yourself. But reality is that many of the people they used to come in my garden, and I spent a part of my time with in the company of those people. Uh, Daddy, all right then. Tell me some of their names. Again, as this little boy, he was very much suspicious. He was not in position to believe the words spoken by Mr. Lamb. Then what he did? Then he said, okay, now just tell me some of the names of your friends. Then what he said? Mr. Lamb, what are names? Tom, Dick, or Harry? Getting up, I am off down to the bees. So now again, this old man said that what is there in the name, and spontaneously, in a hurry, he told some name like Tom, Dick, or Harry. It means that, and again, all of a sudden, he started getting up and then said, it's my time to see my bees. It means that this old man was just trying to escape from the volley of questions of this little boy. Daddy, I think you are daft crazy. Mr. Lamb, that's a good excuse. Again, this little boy, he said that now I can uh, realize that you are very mad person, very crazy person, because whatever you said all are fictitious, nothing is real, and now you don't want to give answer to my questions, then it seems that you are really mad or crazy. That's a good excuse. Now, Mr. Lamb wanted to say that, okay, it depends on you how you realize, how you feel, or whatever you can make assumptions on my character or attitude. But to me, it seems a good excuse because you don't want to understand me. Daddy, what for you don't talk sense? And again, Derry inquired that why this little man said that he was making a good excuse. Then again he said, you don't talk sense. Means whatever you talk that don't seems to be sensible. All I feel or realize at nonsense. Mr. Lamb, good excuse not to come back. And you have got a burnt up face, and that's other people excuse. Again, Mr. Lamb said that the excuse which he was talking about is that, as this little boy said, you are very crazy, very mad, or eccentric. You behave very abnormal. Then Mr. Lamb told him that this is very good excuse of you to not to come again, not to visit me again. It means that you don't want to come again in my garden to see me, and that is the reason why you are saying me as crazy or mad person. And you have got a burnt face, so that is a good excuse for others to see you. So generally the other people they wanted to ignore you, they don't want to talk with you because of your burnt face, and your burnt face serves a very good excuse to all other people. But here you are again trying to make an excuse for not visiting me again. uh, Daddy, you are like the others. You like to say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, you are frightened of it. And if you are not frightened, you think I'm ugly as a devil. I'm a devil, don't you? And he starts shouting. So again here, as soon as this old man he gave a short remark on his burnt face, then again this little boy Derry, he was badly offended by the words of Mr. Lamb, and again he started complaining that Soon before I realized that you are a good person, but again you too are making bad comment on my burnt face. It means there is complete resemblance, similarity between other people and you. So you are also like other people who used to make bad comments on my burnt face. So now I don't find any a difference between those people whom I hate and you. And it means that you are also scared of my burnt face, and if not, it means that you also hate me. So my the appearance of my burnt face seems uh, like a devil. And again he started shouting, do you think me as a devil or as a monstrous? Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees, and again, just see how wise Mr. Lamb was. He was very experienced person, and as soon as he realized that this young boy he was out of control, now he was angry, so he did not want to give any reply, and all of a sudden he left the place and went to see his bees. uh, Very quietly, no you don't, I like it here. So no, you don't. I like it here. Again, very in a very low tone, he said this. I love to be here. Means this place seems to be very charming and attractive to me, and I don't want to go away. Definitely, I will come back because I love this place. He loved the purity or the silence which was prevailing, spreading in that garden. Again, pause. Daddy gets up and shouts, I'm going, but I will come back. You see, you wait, I can run. I haven't got a tail leg, I will be back. Again, tit for tat. What he did? All of a sudden, again he shouted because he was shouting because Mr. Lamb did not give reply to his question, and again he was away to see his bees. So from a distance, this little boy he was shouting to Mr. Lamb, "Just listen to me. I will be back very soon. And look here, I can run because I haven't a tail leg." So just before you have learnt that how Mr. Lamb he remarked on his burnt face. Again, this little boy, what he was doing, he also reminded Mr. Lamb that he had a tail leg, and again he deliberately said, "I don't have a tail leg, so now I can run, and very soon I will be back." Derry runs off, silence, the sounds of the garden again, and all the sounds or all the disturbances in the garden was because of this little boy. And as soon as he left the garden, there was again complete silence in the garden. Okay, now Mr. Lamb to himself, these lines are very important. Again here, these beautiful lines expresses the loneliness of Mr. Lamb, how badly he felt his life empty because there was no one in his life to share some good or bad things with him. There, my dears. There, my dears means he is referring these words to those bees. That is you seen to. Oh, you know, we all know. I will come back. They never do, though. Not them never do come back. The garden noise feeds. And now here, this old man, he was just talking to himself, and he said that generally most of the people who visit this garden, they rarely, very frequently they promises to come back. Many of the people, they promise to come back, but no one ever returned. And again, it means that he is expressing his doubt about this little boy, that definitely as he had left the garden, then he was not expecting to see him again. So that is his isolation, his pain, which he expresses through these words, through these lines, by saying to himself that definitely this boy will also not return as other people who promised they never come back. Now, scene two. So, this was the end of the first scene where we have seen a beautiful conversation between the dairy and this old man. So, now in the scene two, just see, it is at the dairy's house. Mother, you think I don't know about him. You think I haven't heard things. It means that as soon as this young boy he returned home, he narrated all the incidents to his mother. And now, after listening, her son, now she gave her remark, her response, that you think I don't know about him, you think I haven't heard things. It means that now mother wanted to inform this little boy that she already knew a lot of things about Mr. Lamb. Generally, what the people think about him. So all the information she was just sharing with her son. Daddy, you shouldn't believe all you hear. Again, just remember these were the words spoken by Mr. Lamb to this little boy. And again, he is repeating those words. Again, he is trying to suggest his mother, saying that you must not believe in everything you hear, because generally the information which we get uh, through our ears may not be real. So easily we must not trust the words of other people. This is what he wanted to say to his mother. Okay, mother, been told, warned. We have not lived here 3 months, but I know what there is to know, and you are not to go back there. Again, Dairy's mother, she informed this little boy that they stayed at that place for 3 months only, and within this period, she had learnt or acquired a lot of information about Mr. Lamb. And again, she warned him that you must not go back to see Mr. Lamb. Okay, so again, she gave a warning to her adorable son that you must uh, accept my proposal or my suggestion that you must not go back to see this, to whom? To Mr. Lamb. Daddy, what are you afraid of? What do you think he is? An old man with a tin leg, and he lives in a huge house without curtains and has a garden. And I want to see there and sit and listen to things, listen and look. Again, what he said. So, what is strange about that old man? Mr. Lamb, he was an old man having a till leg, and he owned a beautiful large house, and also had a beautiful garden, and also he don't have curtains on his window. And the things which he suggested to this little boy is that we must observe, watch, and listen to the things all around us. So similarly, he said that no, it is my desire. I want to go back there, and I want to watch the garden and to listen the beautiful sounds which comes, uh, which he felt in the garden. So he expressed his intense desire that definitely he wanted to see Mr. Lamb again, because he was much fascinated, he was much influenced by the personality of Mr. Lamb. Mother, listen to what? Bees singing, him talking. Again, mother was surprised that what you want to listen in that garden, or what you want to listen in the company of that mad person. Then he said, I want to listen the natural sounds, that is the buzzing or the sing of the bees. And also I want to talk with this old man. I want to listen to his conversation, as he talked very in a very peculiar way. Mother, and what he is got to say to you? Diary, things that matter, things nobody else has ever said, things I want to think about. Now, his mother, as she realized that this little boy has finally made up his mind, finally decided to go back, then she was a little amazed, and now she wanted to inquire from her son that what actually that old person has told to you, why you are so obsessed, so determined to go back, how he had tried to influence you, what magic he has done on you, she wanted to know. Then he said that he talked uh, about the things that matter. He talked me in a friendly way that nobody had ever talked, and he things I want to think about. And he talked about the things on which I have to think more. It means that he compelled me to think about the way I am living or leading my life. So here it means that this little boy wanted to say that Mr. Lamb gave him the lesson to live the secret, the mantra of living a very happy life. And that is the reason why he wanted to see him again. Mother, then you stay here and do your thinking, you are best off here. Then the mother said, okay, if you wanted to think about yourself, about your future, about your life, so I think your house itself, your home itself is the best place to think. So it would be better you stay inside your house and think. So there is no harm in thinking. So thinking process can be done in the house itself. So no need to go to see Mr. Lamb. So thinking process, you can think, no problem how deep you can think on your life, on your future, you can make plannings, but all that things can be done by sitting in the house too. Daddy, I hate it here. Again, Daddy expresses his reluctance, and he said that I hate to be indoor because the surrounding of my house is not so much interesting. So I hate to be here. Actually, he wanted to go. He wanted to keep his promise. Mother, you can't help the things you say. I forgive you. It bound to make you feel bad things and say them. I don't blame you. So now, mother, she was a little bit irritated by the very strange behavior of her son, and again he said that you can't help the things you say. Means, I cannot permit you to go outside. Whatever you are demanding, you are saying, I cannot help you in this matter because uh, I I feel that you must not go to see Mr. Lamb because she was acting on the advice, on the information which she had gathered from her neighbor. So finally, she wanted to suggest her son not to leave the house. I forgive you because now he was so stubborn. He is talking very rudely to his mother. Then she said that I forgive you for all your mistakes or misdeed, but I cannot help you. It means I cannot permit you to go outside and to see Mr. Lamb. It's bound to make you feel bad things and say them. I don't blame you. And now again, his mother, she is blaming Mr. Lamb because it seems that Mr. Lamb had tried to uh, create all this imagination in your mind. He has washed up your brain, and all the things which you are talking is not your words. All these seems that whatever the words you are speaking seems to be the words of that eccentric person. So I don't blame you. So I think it may be the magic or the effect or impact of that man where you had spent your whole day. So I don't blame you for your mistake. Daddy, it's got nothing to do with my face and what look like. I don't care about that and it isn't important. It's what I think and feel and what I want to see and find out. And here I'm going back there only to help him with the crab apples, only to look at things and listen, but I'm going. And here again, what this little boy said, again, Derry, he was a little bit confident and determined, and he finally informed to his mother that he has finally decided to go back to see Mr. Lamb, and now he don't care about his bad face. He don't care about the remarks of the people on his burnt face. Now he wanted to think differently about his life. Now really he has decided to live his life in a different way, because in the world, in his life, there are many different beautiful things on which he must concentrate his mind. So all these remarks, they seems to be simply distractions, and now he decided not to act, not to react on the comments given by the people. Finally he decided that now I am not worrying about my burnt face. I don't care. Now I have many things to think about. And finally he decided that he will definitely go to Mr. Lamb and he will help him to pluck those grape apples. Mother, you will stop here. Again, finally, his mother is giving him warning that you must stay in the house. Derry, oh no, because if I don't go back there, I will never go anywhere in this world again. Beautiful lines. Again, was this little boy said? Again, very strongly he resented, strongly he opposed his mother's suggestion and said, no, mother, I wanted to go to see Mr. Lamb, and if today I will not be able to go, then definitely I will never be able to go anywhere in the world. So this is the first step which I must take at any cost. So this is the time when I have to decide. And if I stop my steps today, if I decided to remain inside the house, then definitely in near future I will not be able to act on my decision. So now it is final. I will have to go to see that old man. The sounds of his panting fades. No. The door slams, Derry runs panting, and I want the word, and I want it, and sounds of his panting fades. So finally he said that he is determined to see Mr. Lamb, and he slams the door. Slams mean shut the door violently, and again he started running, and as he was running he was panting. Panting means breathing hardly. And as soon as he reached near, yes, what he said, and I want the word, I want it. Now, I want the word means now he wanted to have happiness in his life. Now he realized that how he has spoiled some part of his life by noticing or thinking about the remarks of other people. So now he realized the right way to live the life happily. And that is the reason why he said, I want the world, I want it. It means that now he wanted to obtain the happiness of the world around him. And again, the panting fades. It means now he was very near to the garden. Now, final scene, that is scene third. Mr. Lamb's garden sounds the noise of a branch shifting, apples thumbing down, a branch shifting again. And here again, the narrator has taken us to the third scene where Mr. Lamb, he was plucking that crab apples, and shifting sound of the apples can be heard very easily. Mr. Lamb, steady, that's got it, that's it, more apples fall. And again, here Mr. Lamb, what he was doing, he was trying to shake the branches of the tree, and more of the apples they were falling to the ground. And again that it and a creak, a crash, the ladder falls back, Mr. Lamb with it, a thumb, the branches switches back, creaks, then silence. Derry opens the gate, still panting. And again, as Mr. Lamb was trying to get more apples, he was trying to sift one of the branch. All of the sudden, we can hear the creak sounds, and this creaking sounds uh, is produced when the branches of the tree gets torn out from its main branch, and all of the sudden a thumb means the sudden fall of the if some objects falls violently on the ground, that thumbing sound could be heard. It means that Mr. Lamb fell down from the tree along with that broken branch. But meanwhile, Derry appears, reached at the gate, still panting. Derry, you see, I came back. You said I won't, and they said, but I came back, I wanted. And as soon as this little boy, he was at the gate, he entered the gate, and again he shouted loudly to get attention of Mr. Lamb and said, finally, I have kept my promise. I returned back, and many of the people, means my parents, my friends, all tried to stop me, but I finally I have reached, I have kept my promise, and look, Mr. Lamb, I am here again in your garden. He stops dead silence. And again, as soon as Derry stopped shouting, there was a complete silence in the garden. Mr. Lamb, Mister, you have, he runs through the grass, stops, kneels. Again, when he saw that Mr. Lamb was lying on the floor, on the ground, then again he was trying to get his attention. He was just he was just trying to get attention of Mr. Lamb by uh, calling his name, Mr. Lamb. But all of a sudden, as he reached near Mr. Lamb, he kneels down. And now, nearly he realized what had happened. Uh, Mr. Lamb, it's all right. You fell. I'm here, Mr. Lamb. It's all right. Silence. Again, this little boy, he wanted to give consolation. He wanted to console Mr. Lamb that in case if you have fallen down from the tree, no problem. I will help you to get some assistance or some medical help. So now he said that everything will be all right. Don't worry. He wanted to console to Mr. Lamb, assuming him as living or unconscious. Then he said, then I will help you, and soon everything will be normal, everything will become all right. I came back, Lammy Lamb, I did come back. Derry begins to weep. And again, this little boy, Derry, he wanted to talk to Mr. Lamb, and again he said, Lammy Lamb, just listen to me. Why you are not giving any response to my questions? Again he addressed Mr. Lamb and said, Mr. Lammy Lamb, as other children used to tease him. So deliberately he again addressed him as Lammy Lamb. I have come back. I have kept my promise. But as there was no movement from the Mr. Lamb's side, then very soon this little boy realized that Mr. Lamb had lost his life, and he began to weep. and he began to weep because now he realized that he has lost the source of inspiration. And finally, this is the end of the lesson, and here we have seen how a short meeting between the two characters, that is, Mr. Lamb and Derry. This short meeting changed the outlook, the paradigm of this little young boy who was completely defiant and withdrawn from the mainstream of society, and how the benevolent behavior, how the friendly behavior of Mr. Lamb influenced this little boy in a positive way, and the optimistic outlook of Mr. Lamb. He himself was disabled, but he never cared about his disability. He accepted the reality of life, and also he was able to have its strong impact on this little boy. And finally, we have seen how this little boy started thinking in a very different way. That is the magic which happened because of the strong attitude, strong positive attitude of Mr. Lamb. But here, finally, at the end, we have seen how this little boy, he was feeling very bad as he had lost his best friend, and even the source of his inspiration, the man who taught him how he can live a happy life. But unfortunately, uh, he lived with this man for a few very short duration, and finally he lost his friend, he lost his inspiration, and that is the reason why he is weeping at the dead body of Mr. Lamb. So death of this old person means death of the old motivation, death of the old other facts, other realities of life, which he might get, the knowledge which he may obtain from Mr. Lamb. But as now he is dead, so this little boy, he felt very uh, offended. He uh, feel very bad at the death of this old man. So this is all about today's uh, video, and soon we will meet again in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Goodbye.